Hello, welcome to a new video. I am starting this vlog at a slightly weird time. It's late at night. I got back from Croatia earlier today. I'm really hoping you've seen the vlogs of that trip. I took lots of video, but getting videos from my phone to my laptop is a bit of a pain. So we'll see if I was successful. Fingers crossed. But anyway, I've just got back from holiday. I am pooped. But there was a book I really needed to read when I got back. And I've just got some book mail I'm very excited about. So we're starting a vlog right now for two very anticipated September releases in totally different genres, both sent to me by the publishers. So the first of these I've spoken about a few times on the channel is The Fragile Threads of Power. I do really need to read this. It is huge. It's like 700 pages, I think. 600 pages. It's huge. I'm a bit intimidated but really excited. I've just finished my reread of the first 3 books, the original trilogy for Dark Shade of Magic, and now I need to read this. It releases in about a week or so, I think, so I really need to get it done if I'm going to read it before release date. It's currently Friday, so that's what I'm hoping to do over the next week. But the one that has arrived whilst I was on holiday, I didn't know if I was going to get. I think it is now out, but I was sent it by the publisher, and I'm so excited. It's A Shot in the Dark by Victoria Lee. I can't believe I have this in my hands. I was going to order it. I almost ordered it when I was on the plane home, because I wanted to read it so badly, but I have it, so I'm glad I didn't do that. This is a new queer romance from Victoria Lee, the author of The Fever King. They've also written, oh my god, what's it called? A Lesson for Vengeance? I'm going to say it's A Lesson for Vengeance, but I haven't got around to yet because I'm an awful human being, but I love The Fever King so much. It's one of my favourite series of all time. Incredible duology. And so I've been so excited for this romance. I'll read you the blurb quickly. This is where we're starting. I'm really tired from my holiday and I didn't quite have the brain spoons for Dark Shade of Magic, Threads of Power yet. So this is perfect. Really short. I think it's like less than 300 pages. Romance is going to be exactly what I needed. So read you the blurb and then I'm going to start this tonight and update you tomorrow when hopefully I've not finished the entire thing today. Doesn't love mean being truly yourself? After a decade, Elishiva Cohen has returned to New York. Her past holds wounds, but 4 years sober and a photography scholarship with art legend Wyatt Cole are signs of good things. Even better, her first night in the city leads to a mind-blowing hookup. When Wyatt Cole walks into the classroom, Eli, not sure how you pronounce it, realises her incredible one-night stand is her teacher. The art world is obsessed with a notoriously reclusive Wyatt Cole, but Wyatt's past is a painful memory. After coming out as transgender, Wyatt was dishonourably discharged from the military and disowned by his family. Since then, he's worked hard for his sobriety and flourishing career. He can help Ellie with her photography, but he cannot fall in love with her. Through the lens of her camera, Ellie must confront the reason she left New York, the Orthodox community that raised her, then shunned her because of her substance abuse, and as Wyatt's walls begin to break, each fight for what's right in front of them, someone who sees them for all they are and a love that could be more than they ever imagined possible. I'm so excited. I know this is not going to be like a rom-com. This is going to hurt me and it's going to make me think, and I'm so unbelievably excited. So I'm going to go start this now, try and read a bit tonight. I'm in the middle of another book, but we're going to pause that for a while. And I'm going to go read 2 very anticipated September releases and hopefully have a fantastic time. Good morning. It is Saturday. It is around about 8:30 a.m. And normally on a Saturday, you couldn't pay me to be awake at this time of day. I can have an alarm screaming at me and there's nothing that will wake me up, especially when I spent all of yesterday travelling. But for some unknown reason, I woke up at 6:30 and couldn't get back to sleep. Don't know why, but I decided to just embrace it and use the day. And if I want a nap later, I'll nap later. So I'm currently attempting to get all the videos off my phone for another vlog to see if I can make that work. And so I can do some video editing later, which should be good fun. But in the meantime, I'm reading A Shot in the Dark. I am nearly halfway through. We're smashing through this. I'll definitely read it all today, probably in the next few hours, to be honest, because I started on page 30 this morning, about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and I'm now on page 134, so we're absolutely smashing through. I am loving this so much, which is not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to anyone, but the first 30-40 pages were just the most killer, incredible kind of rom-com-y start with these 2 people, Ellie and Wyatt, meeting and falling for each other, evidently, and getting together and then realising, oh shit, you're my professor. Like, it was gorgeous. It was amazing, and I was squealing and kicking my feet and just a bit obsessed. And then after that, we have got into them trying to kind of keep their distance, but they're doing real well at that. And lots of discussion about religion and substance abuse and addiction, all of this. Just honestly fantastic. I had no doubt in my mind that Victoria Lee was going to absolutely smash out another book, because, you know, why would I doubt that? She's incredible, but I cannot get over how well they've done this book. It's so good, and I cannot wait to read the next 150 pages. I'm so excited. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go finish this whilst hopefully all my videos upload to somewhere I can use them to spend the afternoon editing. That's the plan. Hello. It is a bit later, quite a lot later. It's nearly 7 p.m. I have finished A Shot in the Dark. I finished this at like midday. I just have been doing things all day, so I haven't done any vlog updates. But I finished this book. This is a fucking fantastic book. This is so good. I don't know how to put into words why I liked this so much. It is so raw and so real, and I feel like there's two genres of contemporary, which are rom-com or it's gonna break your heart and have a really sad ending. And it kind of frustrates me because yes, you do every so often get a rom-com which deals with some slightly heavier topics, but the overall feel is still very light and fun and this and that, and it kind of lightly touches on things. And I'm not saying this is everything everywhere. I've not read every book out there. I've probably just stayed within a niche. But this hits that middle ground perfectly. It doesn't shy away from the raw emotions and things connected with the key topics of this book, which I think I mentioned earlier, like religion, homophobia, transphobia, and also like substance abuse and addiction. It doesn't shy away from any of those at all. There's, in fact, I'll read it out, so trigger warning in the front, content warning. It just says, author's note, this book contains vivid scenes of substance abuse, which is definitely true, so tread carefully with that. Credit, as always, Victoria Lee for including author's notes and warnings in their books. But yeah, this doesn't shy away from any of it, and yet you leave the entire thing feeling hopeful. It's the furthest possible thing from trauma porn. It's just real. And I loved it. I really, really loved it. Highly recommend. I think this has just come out in the UK and the US, so if you want a queer, fascinating romance / anything else, this is the one for you. So with that done, the next thing I'll be reading for this video is Fragile Threads of Power. I've read the first chapter, first like 10 pages. However, I'm not feeling this evening. I'm very tired from my holiday. I don't know why I've been awake since 6:30 a.m. or how I'm still going really, but I'm a bit tired of starting a big fantasy. So this will be the next video you see me read, but let's cut to whenever it is I actually get to this. Hello. It has been a few days since I saw you, but the mood has finally struck to read the Fragile Threads of Power. I started this earlier today when on the way to a haircut, travelling back and forth on the tube, hence the hair also being shorter. And I read the first 36 pages, so not a lot given the 600 page length of this book, but I am now going to settle down for the evening. It's about 7 p.m. and sit and read for the rest of the day. So I'm hoping to do 100, maybe at a push 150 pages today. I think probably closer to 100 would be really nice. And then I've got no free time tomorrow, but I do have some free time the next few days. So hopefully can read this by the end of the week, fingers crossed. So yes, I'm very excited. Having read the first couple of chapters, I am a bit obsessed with the new characters we're meeting, and I'm so ready to see how they all fit in, because I really, really don't know. And I know we're going to see Kel, Lila, Ryan, Alucard, the main 4 characters in the original series, but we've not seen any hint of them yet. So again, very intrigued to know. So time for the evening, sit down with a book, have a cozy evening. I'm on sprints, inevitably, because when am I not? And that's the whole plan. Hello, super quick morning update. It is Thursday the 21st September. It is quite early morning. I firstly wanted to say I'm obsessed with this book. I was so nervous going into this and I was putting it off, as you know, because I got slightly burnt out reading the third one in the original trilogy, Conjuring of Light, and so I was worried I wasn't going to really enjoy this. But no, it's got me. It's absolutely got me. I'm about 150 pages in now, so long way to go, but I am loving this. It's so interesting to me. I think you can really tell that V. Schwab's done a lot of writing between the first one and this one, and also, like, unsurprisingly, this feels more like modern and fantasy today, which is really cool because obviously it's written about 10 years later than the previous ones. So greatly enjoying this. However, I am putting it down for the day because following the theme of anticipated releases, we're having a bit of an interlude from reading because about an hour ago, season 4 of Sex Education was released on Netflix, which is the final season of one of my favourite shows of all time. So I'm about to go and sit in front of my TV for 8 hours and watch that. That's the plan. That's literally just the plan. That's what I'm going to go do now. And I'm very excited, and maybe I'll read some more this evening after that, but honestly I've got some stuff to do, so I may not. But I'm gonna go watch Sex Education and do nothing else all day, and I'm very excited. Hello. It is a new day. It is Friday. I did watch all of Sex Education yesterday and slightly regretted it because I got a really bad headache after sitting and watching TV for 8 hours straight. But oh well, we did it. And then felt a bit grim for the rest of the day after that headache. So did a little bit of reading, but did end up dragging myself to the gym quite late to do a little bit of running, a little bit of walking, which was very nice. But as I said, today is a new day. Got up at a decent time, went on an hour's walk this morning just to get out and about. The weather is gorgeous today. It's been torrential rain for a few days, which in some ways I like. It's like autumnal vibes, it's so cozy, but like it's just been dark all day, whereas we've got blue sky and loads of sun today, which is really gorgeous. On my walk, we had the epitome of autumn is here because I started finding conkers and I have no self-restraint. So 2 of them came home with me. Actually, that's not true. I have fantastic self-restraint that I only brought 2 home. It was nearly many more. But plans for the rest of the day is reading and some errands, little bits I need to do around the flat. So reading, as ever, getting through this. We've made some good progress. I'm on to page 254 now. So I've got about 450 pages left. 350 pages left, actually. Slightly more than that, but around there. So I'm going to try and finish this today. It is near enough midday. So I don't know whether it's going to be possible because that's about 7 hours of reading. And as I said, I have a few things I need to do and I want to go to the gym again this evening. So we will see, but I would really like to finish this today if I could, just because I'm busy the next few days and it'd be good to have this one done. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So keen to carry on. I'm just feeling a bit sleepy at the moment, so I'm not doing the most efficient reading, but we'll keep going and see where we get to. And then only other news is that my Illuma crate for September has arrived, which is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid, with a pretty cover, really cool edges, cool end papers, just pretty illustration. But the best thing about this book for sure is the naked hardcover, which is just absolutely stunning, and then nice spine and more on the back. So I'm very excited about this. One of the quotes on the back is, "I will love you to ruination." I have heard fantastic things about this book, especially from Ashley, A Frolic Through Fiction. So I'm probably going to try and put it on my October TBR. It feels like a good dark academia spooky book for October, but we will see if I manage to or not. But very excited to have that, and it's always fun getting a little bit of book mail. But yes, as I said, plan, sit and read. Wish me luck. Hello. It is the next day, and I very much did not finish Threads of Power yesterday. Just didn't. Barely read anything, in fact. But I'm currently on page 444, and I'm not going to finish it today because it's late, but I'm going to try and finish it tomorrow. We're doing some slow reading and some not good focus at the moment, but I did want to do some quick thoughts on this. I said at the beginning I was really enjoying this, and I am still really enjoying it, but it's not held up the whole way through as much as I was hoping it would. I really loved this at the beginning because we launched into plot pretty quickly, and obviously this is the first book in a trilogy, but it's also kind of the fourth book in a series, given the fact we are in the same world and following a lot of the same characters as we have seen previously in the Dark Shade of Magic books. So it got off to a pretty rapid start. We saw characters we know quite early on, but actually it was one of the new characters, Tess, and her plot that I was getting really, really into, along with the continuing plot of Lila and Kel and Ryan Alucard. And we got into all that really quite quickly, and I was really, really enjoying that in Red London, lots of stuff going on. And that was when I was really, really loving it. And around about maybe 200 pages, we'd got quite far into that plot. Quite a lot had happened. We were really going for it, and it felt like we were about to start like running at some stuff. And at that point, we switched to another character in Another London and suddenly got maybe 100 odd pages of backstory on her for like the last 7 years. What's been going on? And like, is that all relevant? Yes. Is that character becoming increasingly relevant? And are they going to start crossing over with the other characters? Yes. But it really, really interrupted the flow and the pacing of this book, I think. I almost feel like that needed to be earlier on in the story, because I get that it wants to give you something to get your teeth into really early, which I really enjoyed, obviously, but then interrupting that, I found it a struggle to get invested in that other story. So like, when the fuck are we going back to Kel and Lila and Tess and the characters that we've just learnt loads about? Like, where has that plot gone? What just happened? So that was a bit frustrating, and it definitely slowed the book down for me, and I'm now really enjoying all of the plots. And I'm very aware this is a first book, so that you're expecting a lot of expose and setup, and this is setting up for a plot that's a lot bigger than one book. But I think it was just weird because, yeah, those first 200 pages felt like you were going to get this entire really cool fantasy story arc in one book, and then obviously that's not going to happen, but it came to a very abrupt halt, which was difficult. That's my main thought, but one other thing I will quickly mention is V.E. Schwab has specifically mentioned that this book was written with a view to people potentially reading this before they read A Dark Shade of Magic, and her intention was you could either read the Threads of Power series as a sequel to Dark Shade of Magic, or you could read Dark Shade of Magic as a prequel to this series if this is where you started. I obviously cannot give like an entirely objective opinion here because I have read Dark Shade of Magic, I do know the world, but I think you would be missing out on quite a lot if you were to read this first. Obviously there's an aspect of this massively spoils how that series ends. It kind of has to as the story's continuing. But more so than that, it's the world building. The world building in this is drip fed to you. There is no info dumping or anything at the beginning, which is understandable because V. Schwab's going to not want to bore readers who have read the first 3 books by redoing all the world building. So it's drip fed, like line by line, really tiny bits at a time. And I think it would be enough information for you to make sense of the world, but I just feel like there's bits of information you don't get till quite late on, and it, personally, I think I wouldn't enjoy it as much if I was being given the information in that way. I would definitely recommend waiting for reviewers who read this one first and see what they say, but my current stance would be strong recommendation to read the first trilogy first, which isn't overly surprising considering this is a continuation, but I know there was intention that it could be read like that. I think it could. I don't think it should. Very quick update, because I figured out slightly more why this book isn't sitting quite right with me, and it's because, yes, it's the first book in a series, and so it's setting up big plot for like the next 2 books as well, for the whole trilogy. But I think what I've got used to with A Dark Shade of Magic is, although there is big plot running throughout all 3 books, there is very much an individual plot within each of the 3 books, which gets wrapped up the whole way, and I think that's what it felt like we were going to get at the beginning, and what it's currently feeling like we're absolutely not going to get within this book. Like, I'm almost 500 pages through, and I still feel like we're in setup. Like, we've not moved anything to a point where we're going to get any resolution within this book. I might be wrong, there's 150, 200 pages left to prove me wrong, but I think that's what's really, really bugging me, is that feeling that we're not going to get any resolution until the next book, which then feels like there's very little payoff within this book. This is a personal thing. I'm sure there are lots of big fantasy series out there where that is exactly how it goes. But I need my little serotonin boost of something wrapping up in each book, even if there is a big overarching plot as well. Hello, super quick update because I'm just on my way out the door, but I have finished The Fragile Threads of Power. Finally. This took me so much longer to read than I anticipated. I started so strong and then it's taken me like 5 or 6 days, which I did not see coming. But, you know, such is life. I have finished this. Did I really enjoy it? Yes. Do I think it could have been shorter and possibly could have been structured slightly differently? Yes. I've read some other reviews of this and everyone's like, the pacing's perfect, like it never gets boring at any point. And I wouldn't say it was boring as such, but I definitely still think the pacing was off. As I say, we had 200 pages of plot, then 200 pages of backstory, and then 200 pages of plot, and it just feels like it could have been interspersed a bit better. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed it. We did end up getting a bit of a conclusion in this book, which helped make it feel quite wrapped up, and I am intrigued to see where the series continues. Tess is my new favourite character. I love her. She's so interesting. I love that we got Kel, Lila, Rye, and Alucard again. But yeah, intrigued to see where it goes, but didn't end up loving it as much as I initially thought I would, which is a bit of a shame. But the video should end there. However, yesterday I came home from going out for the day to another arc. This is Charming Young Man by Elliot Schrafer, who wrote The Darkness Outside Us, which I will link the video where I read that. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. That was a sci-fi. This is a historical, not quite romance, historical fiction, which isn't normally in my element, but this one sounds exactly like my cup of tea. So I am reading this, and it's super short. It's like 250 pages. And I know these books are always really quick reads. I did start it this morning after finishing Fragile Threads of Power, so I'm anticipating finishing this tomorrow latest. So thought, why not do a quick little read of one of these? I'll read you the blurb and then I need to run out the door. From New York Times bestselling author Elliot Schrafer comes an exuberant YA historical coming-of-age novel about a rising star French pianist navigating his way into high society as he explores his sexuality. They say 16-year-old Léon Delafosse will be France's next great pianist, but despite being the youngest student ever accepted into prestigious Paris conservatory, there's no way for an impoverished musician to make his way in 1890s Paris without an outside patron. Young gossip columnist Marcel Proust takes Léon under his wing, and as the boys game their way through an extravagant new world, Marcel opens unexpected doors. When the larger-than-life Count Robert de Montesquieu-Fazenac offers his patronage, Leon's dreams are made real, but the more absorbed he is in becoming France's next great thing, the more he strays from the old country life with his family and his best friend Felix, a boy he might love. With each choice Leon makes, he must navigate a fine line between two worlds or risk losing it all. Also, both Leon and Felix have an acute accent on the E, so it probably should be Leon and Felix, but I feel weird saying that, so we're anglicising it and making it Leon and Felix for now. Read the first 30 pages earlier. Really enjoyable start, fun characters. I think it's going to be a good time. And a bit different from my norm, but a quick, fun read after the slight chunk that was this. So yeah, I'm going to run out the door, but I'll update you as I read those, and then we will wrap up this video. Hello, hello. I think I last spoke to you yesterday. As we know, I'm reading Charming Young Man. I'm quite a ways through this, almost done. I'm just going to sit and finish it now. I'm really enjoying this. So this follows, as I said, I read the blurb to you, this follows a pianist who's like trying to make his way in French high society and get a sponsor and a patron and become a world famous pianist basically. And like it's super fun, it's super fast paced, a little bit like you get that, what's the word I'm looking for? Like pretentious French vibe. I don't know, like it's got the vibes. It's super good fun, it's a super quick read. I'm having a real fun time with it. Very queer. It's such a strange one because obviously the time period was not particularly queer friendly, but you've got like characters trying to be really nice because we want a positive spin on queer YA characters, and then we've just got them being referred to as like sexual perverts, and it's like, it comes and goes, swings and roundabouts, you know, it's historical, it's how it works. But I'm having a really great time with it. As I said, I'm gonna go finish it now. It'll take me like an hour to finish off the last 70 pages or so, and then I'll wrap up this video. And we're back. The book is finished, which means this vlog is coming to a close. So, very quick wrap up for anyone that can't remember. I've read A Shot in the Dark, Fragile Threads of Power and Charming Young Man. These come out now, already out. I think this week, probably like the day before you're seeing this video. This has just come out, and then Charming Young Man comes out at the beginning of October. So 3 very good upcoming releases. Thanks again to all the publishers for sending these to me. Overall thoughts, loved it. One of the best contemporary romances I've ever read. My bookmark's falling out the bottom, which is a Daisy and Bee bookmark. Fantastic, loved it so much. Queer, amazing. So many interesting discussions in this. Highly, highly recommend. Obviously a continuation of the Dark Shade of Magic world, which I love. A really, really good introduction to a new series. Not the best thing I've ever read, but really good fun nonetheless, and I'm very excited to continue with this series as the years go on. And then a lovely, charming YA contemporary, not contemporary, I don't know why I said that, it's a historical, following a musician and French high society. So it's been a fantastic couple of weeks of reading with all of these. Honestly, highly recommend them all, though if you're only going to read one, please go read A Shot in the Dark. Please, just everyone go read this book, it's so good. And yeah, again, thanks again to the publishers, but that's it for the video. If you've watched all the way to the end of this video, I'm going to say put a music emoji in the comments, because that's the easiest thing I can think of for any of these. And obviously if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more from me, all of that. But that is it for this video, so bye, and I'll see you in the next one.